You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
A developing story this morning after a domestic dispute leads to a double murder-suicide in Lakewood Ranch. We'll have a live update.
And the November elections are right around the corner. We're going to tell you where you can go today to make sure that you're registered to vote.
And it's a video going viral on social media. The disturbing thing one man did to a customer's pizza that caused him to get fired. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. That face you made probably matches the viewers' faces when I heard that.
Right, as I was thinking that, it was looks like outside Comerica Park. Oh, Detroit Tigers. That's why I was like, oh no, what has happened?
That's true. It is Michigan-based. Good morning. The team is all back together here. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up this morning. Over to John Scalzi right now in the Weather Center.
Yeah, big storms around yesterday. No doubt about that. We had some sideways rain going on there for a while. And we also had some pretty warm temperatures. Again, we're well above average. That'll be the case again today. Not much in the way of rainfall this morning. Again, like yesterday, we're going to have a very quiet drive time during the morning hours. No rainfall to speak of until we get into the late afternoon. 74 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca, 75 in Sarasota, 78, Longboat Key, 74 in Bradenton as you head out the door. And it's a humid start to the day. That'll lead to that 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms later in the afternoon with a temperature in the lower 90s. Complete forecast in a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads, little congestion there already on 301 northbound as you get past State Road 70, head towards Samoset. Otherwise, pretty clear in Manatee County. Farther south, not much. A little red there actually already on Bee Ridge in the eastbound lane from, say, Beneva to McIntosh. And then farther south, nothing besides a little blip there around the Sarasota and Charlotte County line on 41 northbound.
Well, this morning, a double murder-suicide over the weekend in the Lakewood Ranch community. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office says a man shot and killed his wife and his 16-year-old stepdaughter before turning the gun on himself.
Our Marla Spence joins us now from outside Lakewood Ranch High School, where the 16-year-old girl went to school. Marla, good morning.
Hey guys, such a devastating start to the week here for students here at Lakewood Ranch High School. As you can imagine, it's been a tough 2 weeks for students, faculty, and staff here at the school with the loss of 2 students in a tragic car accident last week, and now the loss of one of their classmates most recently. Now, as of yesterday, a crisis team made of school psychologists and counselors were at the campus talking and helping students and staff work through the grief of losing their classmate and student Andrea Barberena Rojas. Manatee County Sheriff deputies say 53-year-old James Bennett shot and killed his wife, 35-year-old Silvana Bennett, and then shot his 16-year-old stepdaughter Andrea before taking his own life inside of a Lakewood Ranch home. Now, deputies say another child was inside that home at the time of the shooting. The Sheriff's Office tells us it all happened Sunday night after a birthday party for the couple's 2-year-old daughter. The Sheriff's Office says a domestic dispute was the center of the shooting.
Sometimes these things just become so heated, and in that moment of rage and emotions, somebody does the unthinkable and kills somebody, and then that turned into not just one shooting, but 2, and then he turned the gun on himself.
And guys, there are so many questions surrounding this case. Investigators are still trying to figure out what the couple was exactly arguing about before the shooting happened. Guys, this is the 3rd shooting within 5 days to shake up the Suncoast, involving a husband taking his wife's life, then turning the gun on himself. Reporting live in Lakewood Ranch, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. Well, a new trial date has now been set for the man accused of throwing his daughter off a bridge in Pinellas County in front of a St. Petersburg police officer. John Chuck's trial is now set to begin on March the 18th. He's accused of throwing his 5-year-old daughter, Phoebe, off the bridge back in January of 2015. Now, that trial was originally set today, but it got postponed. Now, last week, John Chuck's defense team filed a last-minute motion to exclude a psychiatrist who was expected to testify that John Chuck wasn't legally insane at the time. Hearings are scheduled for December 17th and 19th for that motion to exclude that testimony.
The Dallas police officer who mistakenly shot and killed a man in his own apartment has now been fired. Officer Amber Geiger had just gotten off a long shift and says she walked in the wrong apartment and mistook her neighbor for an intruder. She killed 26-year-old Bottom Jean in his home After a huge public outcry, police charged Geiger with manslaughter.
I waited until the critical portion of this investigation was complete. The investigation is ongoing, but the critical portion where it could be compromised is no longer an issue.
The victim's family has expressed satisfaction in Geiger's firing, but they want the manslaughter charge to be upgraded to murder.
In a developing story, the accused stand-your-ground shooter Michael Drechka is out of jail this morning. Yesterday, his family posted part of his $100,000 bond in Pinellas County. Also new, police have now released hundreds of new pages in the Clearwater parking lot dispute case. Now, according to a transcript of Drechka's interview with detectives, he said that if Marquise McLaughlin had retreated or stayed still, he wouldn't have used his gun. But a witness says McLaughlin did move back. Prosecutors have charged the 48-year-old with manslaughter. A pre-trial hearing in the case has been scheduled for October the 19th.
Happening today, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is planning to host another response to active shooter training seminar. It'll be held from 2 to 4 today. The goal of the event is to help businesses and organizations prepare for an active shooter situation, understand the mentality of an active shooter, and learn how to best respond as well.
Happening today in response to National Voters Registration Day, Sarasota County wants to make sure that you are ready for those November elections. Today, a series of voter drives will be held throughout the county. There's going to be drives held at the Selby Public Library, New College of Florida, the Englewood Sports Complex, and many more. You can find a complete list of all the spots today where you can register to vote online at mysuncoast.com.
Among the victims of Hurricane Florence, stranded animals, hundreds of cats and dogs and chickens, all left in the elements. As reporter Luke Nottestein tells us, some survived, but others did not.
There are very few things that leave me speechless, and this left me speechless. There was just the sheer amount of animals.
This drone video shows the site off of North Carolina 130 in Robeson County, where hundreds of animals were left behind after the storm in unbearable conditions.
I've been working with animals for more than 20 years. I've been working in cruelty and doing investigations for more than 10, and I've never seen anything like this. There's a total of living and dead. There were more than 600 animals on the site.
Phil from Canine Global Rescue asked us not to use his last name in this story. He says he's still processing the things that he has seen.
Dogs tied to trees, chickens floating in water, dead horses, animals struggling to survive, taking their last breaths of air.
Volunteers from all over the country have traveled to Robeson County to help.
We had Guiding Spirit Animal Rescue out of Arizona that was here to help us. We had the U.S. Army. We had the North Carolina National Guard.
They have rescued 97 dogs, 25 horses, 1 cow, 4 peacocks, and 12 chickens.
It's deplorable, and I don't think it was a casualty from Matthew or Florence. I think it's been a casualty in the making.
Maybe there is a silver lining to this story and to the storm that has ravaged these streets.
And as bad as this hurricane was, I hate to say it, but this hurricane was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to those animals back there, because now they're safe, now they're free, and now they're not suffering.
I'm Luke Nottestein.
A sports drink company is heading out to provide aid in the wake of Hurricane Florence. The owner of the Supercharged drink company grew up in North Carolina, saw the devastation in his home state, and was inspired to help. So a crew loaded a truck full of sports drinks and headed north to drop off the supplies to first responders, shelters, and more.
You know, these people going, you know, and they were telling me that, hey, we've been up for 36 hours, you know. I just got more of an adrenaline rush just to deliver to them and keep them going so they can get the people in need, you know, back into electricity and let them get back into their homes.
Now, they have done one trip so far, but Smith says they definitely intend to do more to help in that case.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, caught on camera. A Florida man facing charges this morning after being accused of throwing a person off a bridge.
And later in the hour, a third accuser has now come forward accusing Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct. We'll have the latest twist in this story ahead. But first,
it is 5:09 on this Tuesday morning, and I did some eavesdropping on John. He has checked the rain box for this morning's, is it this morning or this afternoon, John?
It will be this afternoon. This morning, I think, will be absolutely fine, no issues whatsoever. But later on today, like yesterday, actually, we'll see those showers and thunderstorms build in inland areas and drift to the coast, and some of it could be rather heavy. None of the inclement weather boxes checked for any of the airport hubs serving Sarasota International, according to the FAA. We'll be right back.
At Boys and Girls Clubs, it's not just about trying new things.
Tanya, come here.
Learning the right steps.
2, 3, 4.
Or making contact. It's not just about exploring the future. It's about helping them build it. It's about making a connection. It's about proving every kid and teen who enters our doors has what it takes. Great futures start here.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
The day you lose your strength is the day you lose your independence. Muscle is lost with age, affecting your energy, balance, and mobility. Before you know it, you're depending on others just to get through the day. But you can reverse and prevent muscle loss. Introducing MyoHealth, a revolutionary proven approach to increased muscle strength and function in as little as 30 days. Live life on your terms with more energy and confidence.
After a serious health issue put me down, MyoHealth's getting me back up again.
I'm doing activities that I haven't done for a long time. It really works.
MyoHealth is a safe, natural dietary supplement, the result of decades of research and 24 human clinical studies. You can live stronger at any age with greater strength, mobility, balance, and energy. Call or go online now and take the MyoHealth 30-Day Strength Challenge.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 75-degree air temperature. We have a dew point the same. 100% relative humidity as temperature and dew point are a match. Makes it feel kind of sticky out there, a little bit on the humid side. The heat index and the air temperature are the same, though, as we head into the afternoon and we start to get a little daytime heating. That'll change. We'll get up to about 100 to 105 degree feels like temperature again this afternoon. Plenty of sunshine to start off the day, building afternoon clouds by around noon, especially in inland areas, followed by that chance of rainfall. Once again today, almost a carbon copy of yesterday. Showers and thunderstorms building in inland areas, brought in by an easterly wind from the east coast, will gradually drift closer to our coast, bringing a 40% chance of late afternoon, early evening showers and thunderstorms right around drive time this evening. We had some big storms move through here yesterday and some torrential rainfall, sideways rain, lots of lightning, and certainly some very gusty winds as well. That has gone. The last vestiges of that are way out in the Gulf. Otherwise, we are looking at quiet conditions to start off the morning. But already at this hour, the easterly wind starting to pick up a few showers over on the other coast, gradually drawing them in this direction. Of course, we also have this low pressure area that we continue to monitor. There's some slight potential for development with this system, but it does look like it will probably just either skirt the Carolina coast or move off the coast as it heads out into the open waters of the Atlantic with time. High pressure remains our dominant weather feature, bringing us this easterly wind flow. We'll continue to watch that occur as we head over probably the next 5 days or so. That east wind brings showers from the other coast into our neck of the woods and triggers off that good chance of afternoon shower and thunderstorms. Hot, muggy afternoons, daytime highs running above average once again all week long. And then west moving storms calming the tropics for the state of Florida anyway, but really not so much in other places. We still have several places where we continue to monitor. Disturbance 1, the one I just spoke of, has a 50% chance of developing over the next 5 days as it skirts the Carolina coast. Disturbance 2 has about a 60% chance of formation. This was Kirk, and it has a chance of again developing, but by the time it makes it into the Caribbean, it'll probably start to fall apart, and Leslie is not a big deal for any of us. It'll kind of meander out there before it just basically falls apart. Southeast wind coming in at about 10 knots over the next several days, I think, not much stronger than that. And turning to the west in the afternoon near the coast with that sea breeze each and every day. Sea breeze kept fairly close to the coast, brings us 40% chances of showers today. And then over the next several days, I think about a 30% chance of rainfall right straight into the weekend. And to start off next work week, we'll keep it there with daytime highs, again, above average. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Take a look outside and check your first alert traffic. So far, Manatee County running pretty smooth as of this morning. No real delays or congestion so far in that area. Then in Sarasota County, those roads are also looking pretty decent for the most part. No real slowdowns going on. Pretty smooth commute. And if you're headed a little bit farther south in the area, 75 and 41 are also looking pretty good as of 5:16 this morning. That's your first alert traffic. Well, a Daytona Beach man is accused of throwing another man off of a Main Street bridge, and it was all caught on camera. Gail Pashal Brown has a strange story.
It was Saturday just before 5 o'clock when a Daytona Beach police officer was driving here along the Main Street bridge. Officer Christopher Mayer says he saw this man, 21-year-old Derek Gooden, throw another man over the railing head first. You can almost see what happened in the right part of the screen.
X-ray 6-7 on the ground.
I'm finna sit down.
Main Street Bridge. I just got a male throw another male over the bridge. I got one at gunpoint.
He just jumped over the bridge. The officer ordered Gooden to the ground.
Get on your belly right now. Get on your belly right now.
Police say Gooden threw a wallet in the water.
The male in the water looks code 4. He's swimming.
Mackenzie Rayonen in his rowboat picked up the victim, 33-year-old Anthony Mascaro.
The guy was bleeding from his face, and he was standing on the black pilings there, and there doesn't appear to be a way for him to get back up, so I asked the police if I could be of assistance.
He assaulted my property. I felt threatened, sir.
You just threw a male over the bridge.
He jumped over the bridge.
I watched you. I'm right here.
Police say it's about a 30-foot drop. The police report says Mascaro and Gooden got into a fist fight on the bridge after Mascaro defended a woman who also got into it with Gooden. 34-year-old Stephanie Ellis told police there was a flat tire on the bike she was walking and said that she was approached by Gooden on the bridge and got into a verbal argument with him over a prior money exchange. At a point in the argument, Gooden had struck Ellis in the face.
Now, both victims refused to press charges in that case, but Derek Gooden was arrested anyway for obviously throwing a person off the bridge. Police say that could have prompted a more serious injury, including death. All right, still to come on Good Morning Suncoast, there is a new scam, and this one targets your paycheck. We're going to have the latest warning from the FBI.
And it's a video that's gone viral on social media and could be disturbing for many of us. Why one employee is saying he felt the need to spit in his customer's pizza.
So
can't even say it out loud.
Ugh.
5:18 right now, peek outside at the nation's largest city.
Looks like Gotham.
Gotham City.
Where is Batman? Where is the bat signal right there? It's literally what it looks like.
I'm watching the sky for the logo to appear. Commissioner Gordon. All right, we'll have more news on the way on Good Morning Suncoast.
The final 2018 Accord clearance is now during our model year-end clearance sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for new Accords, all on clearance this week at your local Honda dealer.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Caught on camera, a food worker in Detroit went for revenge on a customer's pizza. And that's not all. The person who put the video online has been fired as well. Reporter Larry Spruill has the story.
Anger because the supervisor kept yelling at him, and he was like, "I'm spitting a customer pizza," and I'm like, "What?"
Quinnell May tells me that was just the beginning of a crazy Friday night. It was a quick conversation with his coworker.
I'm like, "You sure you want to do that?" He said, "Yeah." So I put on my phone just in case he did it.
And his coworker did just what he said he was going to do. And Quinnell May caught it on camera. You can see in this video his coworker spitting on a pizza he was preparing for a customer, or blurring his face for privacy reasons. May says minutes after that he went to find a manager to let them know what happened, but tells me he was sent home for taking too long to use the bathroom. So that's when he posted the video on social media.
And they contacted me and made me delete it, and then I reposted it.
I reached out to the food company, Detroit Sports Service. A spokesperson sent me this statement. The employee who filmed and posted the video was sent home from the game Friday evening on an unrelated uniform violation prior to us learning about the food tampering via the video being posted on social media. Our only subsequent communication with that employee was to let him know that he would not be working Saturday or Sunday. No one acting in an official work capacity asked him to remove the video. We referred information regarding the video to the Detroit Police Department, and they have told us it is an active investigation. Meanwhile, May has some questions of his own.
Why should I be fired for showing the truth? Now, I feel like they wanted me to sweep it under the rug, or, hey, okay, don't tell anybody. But no, they need to know. Like, what if it was my mom or somebody who ate the pizza, or somebody in your family? You would want them to know what's going on.
That is too much to see this early in the morning.
I don't want to see that clip again of him doing that.
No, if you're a fellow Michigander. Yes, that was Comerica Park, home of the Detroit Tigers.
That's what happened during a baseball game.
Yeah. Ooh.
Nice.
Let's not show that video anymore. I'm good.
Yeah, 5:24 right now.
Well, there is a new warning about a scam that is targeting your paycheck.
Details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, hackers rerouting paychecks.
The FBI says hackers are posing as human resource employees. They're sending out links asking you to update your credentials for direct deposit. Once the hackers gain access, they redirect the deposits to an account they control. The FBI warns, make sure you verify any emails claiming to be from your HR department. And a big shakeup at Instagram.
The co-founders of the photo-sharing app have abruptly resigned. Their departure, the latest challenge for Instagram's parent company, Facebook. And a big deal in the on-demand audio industry. SiriusXM is buying Pandora for about $3.5 billion.
Sirius says the deal won't affect what you listen to because both brands and services are being maintained. The deal allows Sirius to expand beyond cars and into homes and other areas. Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a good one.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Safelite Auto Glass.
So you think this chip is nothing to worry about? Well, at Safelite, we know sooner or later, every chip will crack. These friends were on a trip when their windshield got chipped. So they scheduled at Safelite.com. They didn't have to change their plans or worry about a thing. I'll see you in a little bit. And I fixed it right away with a strong repair they can trust. Plus, with most insurance, a Safelite repair is no cost to you. Really? Being there whenever you need us, that's another Safelite advantage.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Every year, 790,000 Americans suffer from a heart attack. It can happen anywhere, anytime. But during a suspected heart attack, immediately calling 911 and chewing Bear aspirin can help save a life. Carry Bear aspirin helps save a life.
Now I'm thinking I'd like to retire early.
Let's talk about this when we meet next week.
Edward Jones came to manage $1 trillion in assets under care by focusing our mind on whatever's on yours.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC 7 News at 4. ABC 7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins.
To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
More accusations and new testimony scheduled. We've got the latest updates on Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and accusations of sexual misconduct.
Happening today, the man who used to be called America's favorite dad will be in court for day 2 of his hearing. We'll tell you why Bill Cosby is facing less jail time.
And a historic flight took off from Nebraska. We're going to tell you what made this flight so special. We've got those stories and more right now as Good Morning Suncoast continues.
You got my attention there. That's intriguing.
I know. Wait to hear the story. It is a very good story.
All right.
It is 5:29. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins. John Scalzi has the Tuesday forecast for us now. John?
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, it's a lot quieter now than it was just about 12 hours ago. We had some heavy thunderstorms moving through the area yesterday. Richard in Northport, one of our weather watchers, picked up 1.8 inches of rain yesterday, so a very productive rain day. Otherwise, things quiet this morning, but like yesterday, we're already starting to see some clouds gather over on the other coast and some showers beginning to move onshore on the east coast. Those will be moving into our area as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures across the region right now, mid-70s in inland areas, upper 70s close to the coast. That's about where it was 24 hours ago as well. A lot of sunshine to start the day, boosting our temperatures rapidly into the 80s by noon with a few fair weather clouds building. Watch for the storms to start inland at about 3 p.m., then gradually drift to the coast later in the day. Complete forecast for you in a sec.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. Here's the scene first off in Manatee County. 301 northbound, some congestion as you approach downtown Bradenton. Otherwise, not too bad. Farther south, here's the scene on the northern half of Sarasota County. Nothing in the red right now, just some small congestion spots around the bayfront at the 301 and 41 intersection. And then our final map for the south, mostly clear. One little red blip on 41 between the words Nokomis and Venice. Stephanie?
Thank you, Ray. Well, a third woman appears ready to come forward and accuse Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct in the past. The attorney for Stormy Daniels, Michael Avenatti, says he is representing the woman, that she's a former federal employee with multiple security clearances, and she says she wants to talk about how Kavanaugh behaved at parties.
We have not made a final decision as to where she's going to sit for an interview, or if she's going to sit, or on what network she's going to sit for an interview. But here is what I will say. She is 100% credible. And when the American people hear from her, they will determine, as I have, that she is to be believed.
Now, Kavanaugh's first accuser, Christine Blasey Ford, is scheduled to testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee this Thursday.
Happening today, sentencing day for former comedian Bill Cosby. He now faces up to 10 years in prison, down from 30. Prosecutors merged his charges. He was convicted in April on 3 counts of sexually assaulting Andrea Constand back in 2004. Now, Constand spoke in court Monday, asking for justice as the court sees fit. A prosecution expert is pushing for Cosby to be labeled a sexually violent predator. However, his defense attorneys say due to his age, he's 81 now, that is likely not going to happen.
Well, President Trump says he and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un will have a second meeting quite soon. Trump's comments on Monday follow an up-and-down relationship between the two countries since the two leaders met at that historic summit back in June. Now, recently, the president canceled Secretary of State Mike Pompeo's planned trip to North Korea. That was supposed to have happened last month. U.S. officials worry that a second summit is a little premature and might give North Korea too much in return for little progress toward denuclearization.
Relationships are very good with North Korea. We have many things in store. It looks like we'll have a second summit quite soon. As you know, Kim Jong-un wrote a letter, a beautiful letter, and asking for a second meeting, and we will be doing that. Secretary Pompeo will work that out in the immediate future. It looks like it's moving very, very well. Tremendous progress on North Korea.
And also happening today, President Trump will address the UN General Assembly. He's scheduled to be the second speaker today. In a developing story, a federal judge in California appears ready to dismiss Stormy Daniels' defamation case against the president. Now, that suit is over one of his tweets back in April. Daniels had released a sketch of a man who she claims threatened her back in 2011 after she spoke out about her affair with Trump. The president said the sketch was of a, quote, non-existent man and called it a, quote, total con job. The judge said that tweet appears to be political hyperbole and an opinion, which is protected under the free speech category. He's not yet issued his official ruling. And developing in Pasco County, a Hillsborough County deputy is dead after investigators say he killed his wife and then he took his own life. There were 4 children at home at the time of that shooting. One of those kids called 911 while running from the home. Deputies then found Samantha Keithley dead downstairs, and then later found Deputy Kirk Keithley with the Hillsborough County upstairs, dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, police say the deputy did not use his sheriff's office issued gun in that shooting.
Well, no word yet on the cause of death of a local congressional candidate. April Freeman of Cape Coral died yesterday. Her husband posted about this on Facebook. She was the Democrat set to face State Senator Greg Steube in the general election for Congress in the 17th District. In a statement, Steube told us his thoughts and prayers are with April Freeman's family in the wake of her tragic and sudden passing. Freeman was 54 years old. Hurricane Florence is long gone, but not forgotten. Major damage reported and historic flooding is still on the way for some low-lying areas. Georgetown County in South Carolina is likely to see floodwaters at least 10 feet deep this week. The area missed the worst of Hurricane Florence. However, it's located at the mouth of 3 rivers. Thousands have already been evacuated. The death toll from Florence is now up to 47.
An update now on that new aquatic center being built in Northport. The 25-meter stretch pool is starting to take a little bit more shape. It's one of the many amenities that will be a part of the aquatic center, which will be across from the Morgan Family Community Center. It's also going to have a lazy river, all kinds of kids activities, another pool for them, some slides, a concession area, and much more. Construction on that $12 million project started this past July. It is set to open to the public next July.
Another job fair is set for tomorrow. The Goodwill Minnesota Job Fair will take place for a variety of employers from different fields tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Goodwill Minnesota Corporate Campus. That's on 51st Avenue East in Bradenton.
Well, it was a historic flight that took off from Nebraska and landed in the nation's capital yesterday. It was the first ever military honor flight made up entirely of women. The female veterans enjoyed a well-deserved tribute for their dedicated sacrifice and service. John Gonzalez has the story.
Well, I mean, it means a lot to have support like this. Especially, you know, I'm Desert Storm, but the ones before me, you know, this is awesome.
The patriotic reception outside of Gate 7 in Terminal A here at Reagan National Airport was exciting, but these brave women of all ages could not hold back their emotions.
I'm glad that they did something for the females, and we had female, the whole crew was female, the pilots, and it was good to see everyone here to welcome us.
The first ever all-female honor flight from Nebraska to D.C. All of these brave service members sacrificing everything when they volunteer. Women are not and never have been subject to a draft.
Women veterans are rarely recognized that much. And here we had a whole plane load.
135 women representing the Vietnam War, World War II, Desert Storm, Iraq, and Afghanistan.
It's just been so nice. We had a police escort this morning and a patriotic escort and a band at 2:30 in the morning.
Thank you for your service, ma'am. It's an honor.
The veterans will be visiting all the popular war memorials while here. Arlington National Cemetery, also 2 special stops at the Pentagon Memorial and Women's Memorial.
It was a privilege and an honor to have served.
Loretta Swit, who played Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan on the very popular show MASH, is also flying with the group.
So humbled and honored to be a part of it, really.
Wow, that is so amazing. That's always been on my bucket list to cover. You did an honor flight before. You got to go along?
One of the most emotional stories I've ever covered was going on an honor flight and getting back to St. Petersburg at 9 p.m. with a plane full of World War II veterans, and there were thousands of people that lined the hallways to say, "Welcome back, sir. Thank you for your service."
They have parades to and from as they get off the plane in both areas. They have all people that are
it was an amazing 12-hour day. Wow. We left at 5 a.m., spent the day in D.C., and then came back at night It was a great story. That's a wonderful organization with the donations.
Yes, I love that. A wonderful thing they're doing. All right, still ahead, after a domestic dispute led to a double murder-suicide in Lakewood Ranch, our ABC 7's Marla Spence, she's going to be live out there to tell us what the school is doing now to help students deal with this latest tragedy.
Yeah, this is not the first time the school's had issues. 5:39 right now. Here is a look outside our studios at the downtown skyline. As far as the day planner goes, here's John Scalzi.
Yeah, it looks pretty good for us. We have a daytime high that'll top out again near 91 and more rainfall on the way. If you're thinking about a little beach walk today, well, it doesn't look too terribly bad in terms of weather during the afternoon, but watch for some sunset storms. As 87 degrees will be the high temperature near the beach. West wind will develop and an UV index at about a 10. And the latest Mote Marine spotter reports indicate pretty quiet conditions, clear conditions in terms of respiratory irritation at Holmes Beach, but all the other beaches have either low or moderate amounts of irritant in the air as winds switch to the west with a sea breeze this afternoon. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
According to a new survey by U.S. News & World Report, 3 of Alabama's top 4 hotels and resorts are part of the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail Resort Collection. The Grand Hotel Marriott Resort in Point Clear, the Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel and Spa, and the Renaissance Birmingham Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa. Hey, we didn't invent Southern hospitality, we just offer more of it. Visit rtjgolf.com/resorts to find out more.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at temperatures that are coming in at about 75 degrees with a dew point value the same. That gives us 100% relative humidity, and there's plenty of moisture, not only at the surface, but aloft as well. Becky in Omayaka, one of our longtime weather watchers, commented on the ring around the moon that you can see as you look at that full moon that's out there this morning. And that's caused, of course, by the moisture in our atmosphere, which will eventually help support our showers in the afternoon. But there'll be plenty of sunshine around to start the day, despite the fact that we have moisture in the air. We also have a big ridge of high pressure kind of suppressing the growth of clouds. So we won't have much to start with in terms of clouds, but by noontime, a few building clouds will start to form, and then those will lead to the showers and thunderstorms in inland areas first, and then they drift toward the Gulf waters as we head into the later afternoon and early evening. We're already starting to see the effect of an easterly breeze by showers building over on the other coast. For us, we're quiet right now, and what was left of yesterday's storms continue to push away in the Gulf waters. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for us, brings us this easterly wind flow. A stalled frontal boundary located just to our north will be one of the steering mechanisms for this area of low pressure located just to our north as well, which could bring more rain showers to coastal Carolinas, places where flooding in certain places has just started. So the last thing they need is more rain, and they're watching that very carefully, that storm. Easterly wind flow for us today takes those showers, brings them to our coast, where they meet our west coast sea breeze and start to build into thunderstorms. Hot, muggy afternoons, west moving storms. But calm in the tropics for Florida right now. No systems nearby. The Futurecast shows the timing of these storms. By 9 o'clock, quiet. Drive time looks good. By around noontime, we'll start to see some clouds building in inland areas. And by 3 or so, the first few showers and thunderstorms will start to form in inland areas. And they will gain intensity as they encounter our sea breeze and they move out into the Gulf waters. As far as this area of disturbed weather, that's disturbance number one that the Hurricane Center is watching. It does have some potential for developing, and all computer models suggest, at least initially, a northward motion, about a 50% chance of it developing as it gets close to the Carolina coastline. Models are coming into better agreement with kind of recurving this back out into open waters of the Atlantic as it gets very close to the Outer Banks. We'll watch that system very carefully over the next several days. Could provide 2 to 4 inches of rainfall for parts of the coastal Carolinas. So as we head into the next several hours, we'll start to watch the beginnings of a westerly wind develop. That'll be our sea breeze, which will eventually turn into showers and thunderstorms. About a 40% chance of that later today. And over the next several days, I think it's going to be kind of the status quo. 30% chance of showers should take us through the weekend, with daytime high temperatures above average around 90. And in fact, that trend really carries on into the beginnings of next week. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Let's take a look outside and check on your first alert traffic. Couple slowdowns right there on 301 near Bradenton. Other than that, it's pretty quiet in Manatee County. And then in Sarasota County, those roads are not looking too bad just yet this morning, running pretty smooth so far. And then a little bit farther south, 75 and 41, both looking pretty good so far. At 5:46, that's your first alert traffic. Well, more grief counselors on hand today at Lakewood Ranch High School after a double murder-suicide over the weekend. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office says a man shot and killed his wife and his 16-year-old stepdaughter before he turned the gun on himself.
Marla Spence is live now outside at Lakewood Ranch, the preview of their latest tragedy there. Marla?
Yeah, guys, another devastating week for those here at Lakewood Ranch High School. As you can imagine, it's been very tough for students, faculty, and staff here at the school. Just last week, the school lost 2 of its students in a tragic car accident as they were headed to homecoming. And now this week, the loss and the murder of one of their classmates. Now, as of yesterday, a crisis team made up of school psychologists, counselors, and other counselors were at the campus helping students and staff work through the grief of losing their classmate and student, Andrea Barbareno Rojas. Manatee County Sheriff deputies say 53-year-old James Bennett shot and killed his wife, 35-year-old Silvana Bennett, and then shot his 16-year-old stepdaughter, Andrea, before taking his own life inside a Lakewood Ranch home. Now, deputies say James Bennett's mother and 2-year-old daughter were inside the home at the time of the shooting, but were not injured. The sheriff's office tells us that it all happened Sunday night following a birthday party for that 2-year-old. The sheriff's office also telling us that a domestic dispute was the center of the shooting, and right now there are so many questions surrounding this case. Investigators are still trying to figure out what the couple were exactly arguing about before the shooting.
We may never know exactly what words were exchanged. Our witness there was the shooter's mother, and she's been able to describe the best she can at this point. This is a family in mourning. You know, 3 people are gone that shouldn't have had to end this way.
And guys, this is the 3rd murder-suicide within 5 days involving a husband killing his wife before turning the gun on himself. If you or someone that you know is a victim of domestic violence, you are encouraged to seek help at your local domestic violence agency. You can find that number on your screen. Reporting live in Lakewood Ranch, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. The men who founded Instagram are leaving the company. Kevin Systrom and Michael Krieger began the popular app 8 years ago. They sold it to Facebook for $1 billion 2 years later, but they kept on working for the company. Instagram now has about 1 billion users worldwide, so Systrom says the duo wants to step back and focus on something new, and Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg says he's looking forward to seeing what they build next. For the latest now on movie and music news, here is today's Hollywood Minute.
She's just crazy.
What was that? I should kill everyone and escape?
Ready for more Harley Quinn? Suicide Squad star Margot Robbie is set to reprise the delightfully disturbed character in Birds of Prey. Warner Brothers, which is casting the other leads for the flick about an all-female superhero team, has scheduled Birds of Prey to hit theaters February 7th, 2020.
I think it's a story about, dreams. It's a story about minorities. It's a story about that we live in an incredible country.
And now that country is honoring them. The U.S. Library of Congress has named Gloria and Emilio Estefan as the next recipients of the Gershwin Prize for Popular Song. It's the first time the prestigious prize has gone to a married couple or to Hispanic musicians and songwriters. They'll be honored at an all-star tribute concert in Washington, D.C. next March.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Flashback to 1986 this week as the Transformers the movie returns to theaters. The animated adventure has been digitally restored to screen at 750 U.S. theaters for one night only, Thursday, September 27th. Audiences will also get a behind-the-scenes look at the newest Transformer movie, Bumblebee, which hits theaters in December. Yes, there's more than meets the eye. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And so close, Bucks, so close. The Bucks made their Monday Night Football appearance last night in a close game. The Steelers took a 30-10 lead at halftime, but the Bucks did come back. They scored 17 in the second half to make it close, but they ended up with their first loss of the season. Final score 30-27. They now stand 2-1. Quarterback Jameis Winston returns next week after being suspended for the first 3 games of the season after being accused of groping an Uber driver.
Well, he returns, but will he be on the sidelines or on the field?
I know, there's a lot of back and forth. A lot of people loving Fitzpatrick, or Fitzmagic.
Well, yeah, some of the magic dissipated last night, sadly. 3
interceptions. But that's all right, though. I mean, they're still looking good. 2-1.
2-1.
2-1. It's not bad.
All right.
Such a Monday.
We'll have more of the day's top news headlines on this Tuesday.
And more math lessons from Stephanie.
After this, stay with us, folks.
We've been fighting the war on drugs for a long time. We answer the phone 24/7, 365 days a year. On a busy night, we answer hundreds of calls. This war on drugs needs our intervention.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has helped people struggling with drugs and alcohol.
When the phone rings, we help people when they need it the most. When we get a caller into treatment, it feels right. It feels good. It's a blessing.
If you're struggling, drinking, using, and need to get clean, don't suffer alone in silence. Call Addiction Hope and Helpline.
Our people understand, and many are also in recovery. Call for support and strength. You can call for someone who can't or isn't willing. It's an act of love. Together we can help you beat this thing and erase addiction from your vocabulary once and for all.
Call 800-871-1644. 800-871-1644.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back. Here are the headlines. Grief counselors are back at Lakewood Ranch in the wake of what Manatee County Sheriff deputies call a double murder-suicide. They say a James Bennett shot his wife and teenage stepdaughter before taking his own life. It has been a difficult month at Lakewood Ranch High School. 2 other students were killed in a car crash 2 weeks ago. No word yet on the cause of the death of a local congressional candidate. Democrat April Freeman was set to face Greg Stubbe in the general election. She died yesterday at the age of 54.
Plus, the Bucks made their Monday Night Football appearance last night and almost made a comeback, but not quite. The Bucks fell to the Steelers 30-27, their first loss of the season.
And now for the forecast, here's John Scalzi.
So we're looking today at 3 things that we'll probably be watching all week long. That is this warm and humid wind out of the east that will continue on with a little bit of a west turn as we head into the afternoon and evening. That means dry mornings for us with late day showers and thunderstorms. And so far, despite a rather active tropics, no systems are bothering the state of Florida. We'll have more coming up in the next hour. Back to you.
You know, one story not on the news is the longtime Manatee County Sheriff spokesman Dave Bristow suddenly passed away on Sunday night.
Saw that, yes.
I was off yesterday. So much stuff happened yesterday.
Oh, there was a lot over this weekend.
Yeah, very sad. Dave Bristow, 59 years old. We'll miss him. He was in place there since the 1980s as the sheriff spokesman in Manatee County. Died suddenly.
All right.
More news after this. Stay with us.